Okay, now what I'd like to do is introduce Specialist Jeffrey Alt. Welcome, sir, to Talking with Heroes.
Welcome. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, how long you've served, and where you're from?
I've served for almost 2 years. I'm from Southern California. I'm a medic with 3rd ACR, 3rd Squadron.
Okay, and why don't you describe what you do as a medic?
Typically, we go on a variety of missions, from conducting patrols around the base to PRT missions where we go along and on various projects we'll help the Iraqis out, and we provide security for the PRT so they can conduct their operations.
Do you work out of the first aid station over here?
Sometimes I do work out of the aid station, but I'm actually assigned with 2nd Platoon here at Mad Dog Company, so I come with them on all our missions.
Okay. What is your experience like from the time you got here till now? Have you seen changes, progress?
There's a couple projects that I've seen changes on. First is the EOD compound, which is actually relatively close to this base. I've seen them, build it up, and where it's pretty much ready for ready to start doing what it is. It's an EOD compound for the Iraqi.
What is EOD?
It's explosive ordnance disposal. So if there's any explosives or ordnance that they find, they'll bring it over there and take care of it.
And this is their compound, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And there's also been some schools we've opened up in the Najaf area, and so I mean I wasn't around when they were built, but I was there for them being opened up, and we were able to escort the PRT, which is a provincial reconstruction team, over on those missions so they could open up the school, be there.
Okay, and then the PRT provincial reconstruction team, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's soldiers, military personnel, and civilians, right? Like Doc DeLeo and others?
It's actually, the PRT is actually predominantly civilian and government workers, and they have areas of specialty. Some of our lawyers, some of them just are experts in reconstruction, and we just accompany them on their missions. We provide security for them to enable them to do their mission.
Right. Great. I appreciate that. Have you been getting care packages from home? If you have, of any particular organizations, and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, I've been receiving care packages from my family, my friends, and Operation Gratitude. It means a lot to me, especially friends and family when they send it up, just because I'm able to get things that I wouldn't normally get, or especially like some snacks or just some food. You don't have a lot of room here to carry extra stuff. But it's nice to just have a few things from home.
Absolutely.
To remind you of home.
Absolutely. Bet you'll be glad to get out of this heat, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Southern California gets hot, but not like this.
No, Southern California, if you live by the coast, it doesn't get nearly as hot.
Right. Would you like to give a shout out to family and friends back home?
Yeah, I'd like to say hi to my mom, my dad, my sister Sarah, Adrian and Marion, my brother Adam, and I just want to tell them all that I love them, and that I'll be home soon.
Great. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you taking your time. I know you got a busy day.
All right, you're welcome.
Well, hello, sir. How you doing? Fine. Yeah. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. My name is Staff Sergeant Arderrick Wiggins. I'm from North Carolina. I've served 13 years in the military now. My job is a armor crewman, which is an M1 tanker, and I'm happy to be here.
But you're not doing much with tanks here, are you?
No tanks here. We're riding around on MRAPs and Humvees. Tanks are kind of stuck at the Major Fob, which is a few miles east from here.
And we were talking earlier, you've had a number of previous deployments. One was Ramadi. Yes. Why don't you talk about the different deployments and the changes you've seen? Because you've gone from, Ramadi. Right. Okay, we'll talk about it.
Well, Ramadi was very kinetic. We was kicking indoors and, riding around on tanks actually in Ramadi, searching for bad guys and, doing what we're told as far as disposing IEDs and, of course, the bad guys. Now it's a bit different. This is advise and assist. We're advising and assisting the Iraqi security forces here, the IPs in the Iraqi army. So we're pretty much letting those guys take lead while we are in the back, just spot checking things, make sure they're doing the right thing.
Also, we were mentioning earlier, my friend Doc DeLeo. I was with him in Baghdad in 2007. He just left a couple days ago, but I know he's done a great job here, and the whole team has. Why don't you talk about some of the more of these projects?
Beginning of 2011, we took him out a couple times to some bridges being built up in East Najaf. He was leading that project, bridges to help the people get from one side of the town to the next without having to use a boat. And also, like he was saying earlier, SPC Alt, the EOD compound, which is just right outside of our fob. When we first got here, it was just a foundation, just some bricks being laid. Now it is almost complete, and he's been spearheading that project also. Schools, ribbon cutting ceremonies in schools in Najaf. Doc has done a great job here in Najaf, and he's a great man.
He's an example of what many civilians have done. He's been here so many times. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. He's a great guy. We're from the same state, which is kind of funny. He lives about 3 hours west of me in North Carolina. So
he's a professor at what, Eastern Carolina University? Is that right? ECU?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
He'll be on his way home. He'll be home pretty soon.
Yeah, he's beating me home.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Now tomorrow we're going to have on this part of this video, as a matter of fact, folks, a ribbon cutting ceremony. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Something at the airport?
Yes. Tomorrow we're going to take out the PRT and a couple key leaders here in the 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment up to the airport in Najaf. They're going to cut the ribbons. It's pretty much it's a time to say thanks to people in the Najaf and the security forces, and also to say goodbye to the PRT team here in Najaf.
Yeah, I've noticed you have quite a few PRT offices here, so you've obviously had a lot of projects going on.
Oh yes, we took them out a lot when we first got here in 2010. Unfortunately, it slowed down a little bit, but when we first got here, it was almost every other day. We'll take them to a school, to the EOD compound here in Najaf, and the ATU compound. So, but now it's slowed down a whole lot. So,
okay. Why don't you also talk about care packages a little bit?
Oh yes, they're very important. When you're over here for a long time like this, getting something back home means a lot. It keeps guys from getting frustrated, and keep them from getting a little angry or not being able to be home with their loved ones. And you get a package, with the card from someone saying thank you, it means a whole lot. It makes you that much, worried about the job, what to do, and how to carry on pretty strong with the job. So they're very important.
Absolutely. Yeah, I heard this from the 3rd ID when I was with them last year when you replaced them, that you have another unit coming in replacing you. Yes. So it's important for people back home to realize there's still going to be troops here, right?
It's very important. Things like soap, hygiene products, toothbrushes, they mean a lot over here, especially out here in the combat outposts where you don't have a PX, BX, or stores to buy that stuff. A lot of times you wait for it to come back from the States. So that is very important to get that stuff in, and I want to say thank you for that.
Great. Would you like to give a shout out to family and friends back home?
Oh yes, to my wife Lisa, my 2 kids, Junior, I miss you. Tashay, I miss you. I should be home here shortly, and can't wait to get home.
Thank you also for your service to our country.
Thank you.
We appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we'll be back more with folks. We're going to be, as I mentioned here, we're going to be at a ribbon cutting ceremony tomorrow.